fix and start kicking ass, just like it said at the beginning of the program.
Man of the hour, tower of tower, too sweet to be sour.
Sending your ass on the jabroni jet to the other side of the territory, brother.
The Alabama Hammer.
Nightmares are the best part of my day.
The goods from the wood.
Hot damn!
Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Carter Glasscock.
Sam Harder is away on assignment, but never fear, we got you. Your boys are here, and we've got our friend. She is a great friend of mine, former roommate, left under the most acrimonious of circumstances. It was a screaming fight.
Oh, you hate to hear
it was
that.
just a fucking mess, but we're on good terms now. No, I'm just kidding. She's the shit. Our friend.
Oh, my name is Rosalie, yes.
Yes, Rosalie Atkinson is here. Thank you so much for being here. If you listen to the This Is Rad podcast, you might know Rosalie from the Allman Brothers episode that we did. We recorded here at Disgraceland back a year and a half ago. So
Yeah, resident Allman Brothers psychopath.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Rosalie is the Allman Brothers
DJ Allman Brothers fan.
our resident expert on all things ABB.
I understand that I currently reside in your former room.
That's right.
Yes, you do. Is how's it treating you?
It's good. It's very green. I think that was Monica's doing.
Oh, yeah, it is very green.
It's extremely green.
Yeah.
There's those little hanging shelves. I've hit my head on those
Yeah, you're a tall
so very
guy,
many
yeah.
times. Yes. Oh well. It's an albatross. I had to remove one of them, but the other stuff hanging on I appreciate, like the coat hangers and stuff. It's very nice.
Honestly, I'm so glad. Thank you for making the most of it.
Shit. When I lived,
What is the ring thing? I gotta ask. Like the thing that's hanging that's like just a bunch of rings connected.
it's for scarves.
It's for scarves.
It's for scarves. Okay,
Have
because
you
I've
ever
been
been
asked.
outside?
What, you don't have a million scarves? Are you not Steven Tyler?
In the wintry tundra of
No
Los
way
Angeles.
to store them? Do you just throw them on the floor like an asshole?
I mean, I do use them. Yeah, like Steven Tyler, I kind of like throw them out to adoring fans and stuff. But I mean, I
Just have a bunch of them tied around
I have
a
a bunch
microphone.
of handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
I use it. I'm not saying I don't use it. I just, I use
What's
it.
hanging on it right now?
It's my snake skin cane.
Okay.
Oh, what?
That's also how I used it, to be fair.
Okay, cool.
Snakeskin cane.
Yeah, it's, pretty standard thing to buy as soon as you get here. Boy, I miss my savings so much. I really do.
I didn't get one. Doesn't have the rattle still on it.
Yeah, it has rattle for baby when baby go baba. Yeah, it does. That's how the guy sold it to me too. He's like, "You want to make baby go baba?"
It
And
was
then he,
a
shook
baby.
it at me.
It was sold to you by a gigantic baby.
Yeah, it was a big baby.
A big old baby.
And I remember telling my lawyer this. Him a big baby. I remember saying that, and he was like, "What in the fuck?" But that's a different story.
We've all lived in that room, and I think it's what made us all insane.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
It's that room.
It's
Yeah.
nice. I hear the people next door cackling at TV, which is nice. And
Yeah.
it's
The people next door, aka Simon Gibson, MK Paulson, and Caleb Sinan, friends of the show.
friends of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, it used to be the guy who just sat and smoked indoors in the window. When I was in the room, I would just look at him smoking through the window. That guy's not there anymore?
Wait, you mean across
that
the
man.
way?
Yes.
Oh, no, he means in apartment 7.
I can just hear it through the wall.
No, I didn't get the laughter. I got the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
smoking in the window.
Oh,
indoors.
yes.
It makes me happy because they're having fun. But I mean, I haven't enjoyed the smoking man.
Open the window. Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably still there.
Didn't get the so
They say he's always there.
so
He's been there for 40 years. Ooh.
So you didn't get the laughter. So to answer Pink Floyd's question, you do not remember laughter.
No.
Yes.
Do not.
Oh boy.
Hard pass.
Or is that Led Zeppelin? Do you remember laughter? I think it is
I
Led
think
Zeppelin.
that's saliva.
Oh, yes, that's
band
right.
Saliva.
Oh, it's Godsmack. It's Godsmack. Oh, wee!
Whichever one was click click boom. That was that.
It's that one.
Yeah.
But in the course of that Allman Brothers episode, we kind of started talking about the children of the numerous Allman Brothers and
Yes.
what they're up to now. And so I've had this one in the cooker for about a year now because I also am kind of obsessed anytime it gets
Yeah.
revealed. And this is frankly too regularly that a actor or musician has a child who raps. Like, it's a story that breaks
It's becoming a problem. Okay,
it's an epidemic.
We'll say it.
It's a fucking epidemic. About 3 times a year, it'll be like, "Hey, did you know that Daniel Day-Lewis has a son who raps?" And you're like, "No."
Wait, is that
Man.
an example or is that true?
Oh, that's true. Oh, we're gonna hear some
got it.
we're gonna hear
Is
some
he-
of Gabe Day.
Is he English?
His name's Gabe Day. Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
even bother changing the last name.
Oh, buddy, y'all have no idea. I'm Gabe Day. I'm sad I spilled the beans on Gabe Day because
Oh.
Gabe Day is it's something else. We're gonna get there, but yeah, like 3 times a year it'll be like, oh, so and so has a rapping son, and now it's happened twice to the same guy on the Golden Globes. Tom Hanks is receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Bless him.
Much respect to Mr. Hanks. And so,
Sure.
as you do when you're receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award, Tom Hanks brought his entire family, which is great.
Were they ready for the onslaught that was Ricky Gervais?
Yeah, and you got the whole, because Ricky Gervais, dude,
He made a smelling fart kind of face at some of Gervais's remarks.
So yeah, sure. Well,
Boy.
he's incorrigible.
Incorrigible.
That Ricky Gervais.
Oh,
But
talking about license plates made by who was it? Patricia Arquette.
or the uncle or Aunt Becky or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
So, but on the red carpet that night, they had Tom Hanks' whole family there. You got your Colin, you got your the daughters there, you got everybody. Rita Wilson's there, his wife, of course. But then, out of nowhere,
a vision appeared.
A vision appeared. Well, here's the thing: is like I've got the sickness with this type of stuff, where I'm just like I was like, dude, I've been knowing about this guy, but
Yeah, it was news to me when you told me about it.
dude. So Tom Hanks has a rapping son whose name is Chester Hanks, but he goes by Chet Hayes. That's his rap name. And again, I knew about him from his rap career,
just
which was a few
waiting.
years ago. And I was
You're
like,
right.
oh shit, he's back. Because that was like a thing for a minute. It was a blip like, hey, did you know Tom Hanks has a son who raps? And I was like, oh, this is awful. And then I forgot about him. And then he showed back up. I was like, holy shit, Chet Hayes. And he, I'll just play it actually, because you kind of
It
need
speaks
to.
for itself.
Yeah,
It really
Yeah.
does. Yeah. So this was his red carpet moment here.
Big up the whole island, massive. It's your boy Chatana, coming straight from the Golden Globes, you want saying? Me father Tom Hanks presenting in a what, soon forward come. Big up, tune in.
Proud of his dad. okay?
That is on Chet Hanks's official Instagram page, which means he's not ashamed of himself.
No, he's proud of his dad, and he went to support his dad, and that's how they show love in that family.
Is they speaking in offensive patois?
That's it.
Like that's all, off camera. They all speak like that.
Hey,
Chet's just
you
the real
don't know
one.
what a family does.
Tom Hanks, big up to Ja.
Chester, what you got to be doing not on the on the red carpet?
He's got one of them
What?
sway hats with the sewn-in dreads.
You think
Rita Wilson has the spring break white girl cornrows.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know.
They're just they're the worst. I mean, I don't know. We've already cracked this rare vent. We'll do Chet Hanks up top, and then we can get into the shit. 'Cause
I feel like maybe you should acknowledge the fact that although that was offensive, he did it pretty well.
yeah. Well, it's if that was the most offensive thing he'd ever done, it'd be one thing. But he's
doing that into his phone. That's not like someone put a microphone in front of his face. He's like, "Hey, don't embarrass yourself."
No, that is exactly what that is. Somebody put a microphone and was like, "Hey, you're Tom Hanks' son that no one knows about."
Hey, talk about how good you're doing now, rude boy.
Brah, brah.
Rally around your throat, like you just can't stop. Like,
Chant down Babylon.
oh God, you're in rehab. It's fine. It's fine. It's a process. It's a process. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
accept yourself.
So shit. Let's just go into it. Chet Hanks, the son of Tom Hanks. He had a big feud with Howard Stern.
Who doesn't?
Howard Stern.
In a March 24th interview with Shade 45's Rude Jude, who had a bad experience with Hanks on his show a few months ago, Howard Stern joked about the encounter. Quote, "It irritates the shit out of me to see someone take that culture and appropriate it. It's like, come on, bro, you're not from that. You learned how to talk from a video, dog," is what Rude Jude said. Howard says, "I understand your point about Chet Hayes. He's stealing your black culture." And of course, Rude Jude is white, so that was a bit of a joke on Howard's part.
Nice one, Howard. You really got him.
And
respected journalist Howard Stern. I don't know if you guys remember watching him on E! Back, he's like, "Oh, honey, look at that ass. Look at that ass. Oh, honey. Oh, my God. Look at your breasts." I was like, this is the same guy. Now he was like, "I find it offensive. Oh, my God." So you're telling me you can fart 185 times in a row uninterrupted? Oh, my God. Yeah, this is bastion of
of morality.
Morality,
yes.
Howard Stern.
Yes, our eternal barometer of truth, justice, and the American way.
Absolutely.
So after all this went down, and this is all in response to the song I'm about to play you in a moment, Chet Hanks says, "Average yuppie cornball, Howard Stern listener, LOL." And then another tweet, "I am a walking PR disaster, and I could literally give a fuck less," he tweeted. Oh, wait, I meant I literally don't give a single fuck. People stay telling me, chill, you're Tom Hanks' son. Don't be an embarrassment. Well, guess what? It's my own choice to not give a fuck. If my own parents can't motivate me to bite my tongue, what the fuck makes you think that you can?
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Chester. Come on
His
now.
dad played Mr. Rogers.
Right?
This is a few years ago. Granted, this is from
This is what my man was tweaking at this time, yes?
oh my God, yeah, this is from 2015. So yeah, this is 5 years ago. But
Okay, but he still had the potential to play Mr. Rogers someday, and I feel like
well, at this
that
point
should
he's
be
Captain
acknowledged.
Phillips, which
Another hero.
wait a minute, that might be where he got the patois. I am the captain now, and he's
Less
just trying to
offensive. It's done out of appreciation.
It's a dedication to the brave Somali pirates.
I love that band.
Let's see. On March 21st, Howard Stern, your time has passed. You're old. Only old people listen to you. The young generation doesn't know you. As opposed to Chet Hanks. In the last little tweet here, and this is good to throw this sort of thing out. I am going to see you in person, and I am going to hurt you.
Just a clear worded threat.
Oh, my God. I'd love to see you try. Oh, look at those breasts. Look at that ass. Jesus Christ, Howard Stern.
So please respond to this as Howard.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how badly I'm going to assault you when I see you?
Do you have any idea how many times this man could fart uninterrupted for 20 minutes? Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Honey,
can you come over here? Yeah. In the background, there's some Baba Booies in there. And
oh, my God.
no, you've been doing porn for a long time, right? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is truly groundbreaking.
I didn't know that you could do a Howard Stern. This is
As
outstanding.
a woman, I feel terrified just listening to it. I'm looking at him and knowing it's an impression. I'm like, oh no, he's here.
I get the feeling I'm going to be reading some patrons.
I was about to say, yeah, we've got a new patron thing to do. So basically, when he first comes on the scene, and I guess it's that time we got to hear the song. This is what America heard the first time we were frankly aware that Tom Hanks had a rapping son, or a son that wasn't Colin.
Does he have recorded evidence of his raps?
Oh, you betcha. So this is
Oh, he looks so nice.
and you can tell exactly what
He's a
time
handsome
period
young
this
boy.
is. Chet Hayes went to Northwestern.
Oh,
And
my God.
this is sort of a pastiche of the Wiz Khalifa song Black and Yellow, but instead of being Black and Yellow for the Pittsburgh Steelers, as Wiz Khalifa's song is about, this is white and purple, the colors of Northwestern University in Chicago.
Yeah, you know what it's been, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
The remix you didn't know you wanted.
Oh, you did not want this.
This is my cell phone ringtone.
Listen, oh God, the verses are
This is like just as
Unforgivable.
triumphant as like when Tom Hanks gets back to gets back
Just
to
imagine-
from Castaway, and he's like back reingratiated in society. It's like the same feeling.
Here we go. Oh wait, here, the verses are so funny.
I'm living college life, homie, tell the world it's mine. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Here we go.
White kicks, purple kush. This is college hitting blunts after hitting books.
Hidden God.
This is college hitting Kush after hitting books.
Hit the bar, frat star, someone drinking something. And I got the jungle
Well,
steady juice.
social media, you hath rendered this, so thank you very much.
Yeah. So this is him in the middle of him thinking he's a rapper, obviously, and
Not thinking.
knowing for a fact he'd be
He
rapping.
makes it clear.
Yeah, he's not playing with the idea that he might rap someday. He's going for it.
Well, so it was around this time too that Chet Hayes got in a bad habit of saying the N-word a bunch on Instagram.
Good God.
And of course he says, and who is to say only black people can use it? The way I see it, it's a word that unifies the culture of hip-hop across all races.
No, Chet.
Which is actually kind of a beautiful thing, you know? It's a word that can be used out of camaraderie and love, not just exclusively for black people, but for all people. What is the point in putting up all these rules about it? It's time to let it go. You can hate me or love me for it, but nobody can tell me what I can or cannot say. It's got nothing to do with trying to be a thug. It's about culture of the music. And that's all I have to say about it. No pun intended. LOL. It's all love. Some people will get it. Some people won't. Either way, I'm going to keep living my life however the fuck I want. All love.
As Tom Hanks's hair gets grayer and grayer. Boy.
Just picture yourself. You're multi-Oscar winner Tom Hanks.
America's sweetheart, really.
America's sweetheart.
Everybody loves him.
And
Yeah.
you've been filming a movie somewhere, you know, and you've been on set for 2 to 3 weeks and you haven't been home, and you
This
finally
playing in the background.
you finally arrive home to your Beverly Hills home, and you just hear muted through the walls. Just you're like walking up the driveway. You're like, fuck.
You're like, Chet's working hard again, and I love my son.
No, there's no way. Tom Hanks has to be furious at this.
I wonder if he ever called his dad the N-word.
Oh, you know he did. You know he did.
There's no rapping at Northwestern. There's no rapping.
Is this what happened? What did he study at Northwestern?
So oh man, I should have looked. I believe it was philosophy, but
Yes.
but I don't think he graduated.
Pottery.
Yeah, underwater basket weaving. You know,
Sure, yeah.
Sports medicine.
Yeah, sports medicine. Yeah, that's it. I wanted to,
Haterade, I believe, was one of his minors.
Oh yeah, I wanted to play this one. This is another track.
Oh no.
The video. We're gonna put this on our Twitter. You can find us at the Goods Pod. The video.
Oh, boy.
The song is called Juice, and at this point he dropped Chet Hayes, and now he's Chet Hanks, Hanx, which is of course how his dad signs all of his.
It's like
tweets.
Spanx.
Yeah, it's like Spanx. And Rosalie, go ahead and describe the photo here.
Okay,
that's
so
on.
here's what I'm seeing right now. As of right now, I see a tanned Chet in some type of
the rarest of Chets.
Yeah, with a nice haircut, maybe a recent one.
Yes.
And he's wearing
Nice fade.
what I believe is a bleach dyed t-shirt. So
Yeah.
maybe some type of craftsmanship there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Fairfax, some sort of Fairfax shirt.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. Good point. Watch and also 2 guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 Glock 9mm, or maybe those are 6-hour. But yeah, here we go. This is the song Juice.
Got my bitch, she fuck with bitches too. Showed her how we live and now she not fucking with you. Hey, my nick, bitch, we
Right out the gate.
posted smoking, don't relax and let these bitches chew. Got my bitch, she fuck with bitches too.
And then I think this is his producer singing. But yeah, so that's
My
that's a
God.
little sample of
Look,
some
I get
Chet
that we're
Hayes.
making fun of it, but like the production value is there.
Oh yeah, it sounds
I
like
mean,
it sounds like
it
Future or
comes-
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could have come out of Atlanta, the
Yeah.
trap scene. Yeah, I mean, it's
If Chet's gonna do it, he's gonna do it right.
especially it's admirable with his limited resources.
His limited resources. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's
From struggle, born a star.
oh yeah, I mean, this is a Young Thug song, you know, but it's rendered highly offensive because it's, you know,
I like that
Forrest
he
Gump Jr.
references that his girlfriend is bisexual right from the gate.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's important to start there.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk about it, we should talk about
He's
it.
open-minded, you
He's
know.
starting a conversation, and then he drops the N-bomb pretty hard, I think.
Chet Hanks with an X, LGBTQ icon.
That's right. Yeah. LGBTQHANX, if you will.
That was my favorite album of his.
But yeah, that's model. Or sorry, that's Juice. And I got just two more that I want to just play very, very
I feel
briefly.
like maybe we should not talk about anybody else at this point.
I mean,
because he is a young icon.
I mean, well, so he one of the stories about Chet Hanks was that he fell asleep while driving his car on the 101.
Yes.
And smashed into a car going very fast.
Perfect.
Oh boy, this one.
He looks tan again in this one.
Yeah, he's doing better. This is what I'm saying. So he smashes into the car. The person got like horrible whiplash and like PTSD and like the whole thing. It was just like awful for them. So they sued Tom and Rita. Not Chet.
Oh yeah, you know where the money is.
Bingo. They sued Tom and Rita. They ended up settling out of court.
And you also know where he got that Molly from.
Yeah. From Tom Hanks. Notorious parody, notorious drug dealer, Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah. You see him at Coachella just flipping out without a T-shirt on all the time. We've all seen it.
Mom always said you shouldn't wear an Indian headdress to Coachella. It's offensive. It'll get you canceled.
No, nobody said that to him. That's the problem.
That is he would have had a headdress for sure. He is
if anyone was gonna say the N-word and be wearing a headdress.
Oh yeah. Chet Hanks is a bad bitch.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they sued Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson because they were like, hey, he's this is your car that he's driving, which is fair,
of course.
And you knew he was dangerous. Should have taken the keys from him.
You knew your son was.
Well, because he's a fucking maniac.
He posted a photo holding guns.
Yeah. And so that led to, I believe they settled out of court, and that led to Chet Hanks going to rehab, which is good. Obviously we want everybody to
all the best to Chet.
All the best to Chet. All the best to everybody. And
to the people that died in that wreck, I mean,
no, they didn't die. No, they.
What are you gonna do?
Spiritually, maybe.
Yeah. They're
a little part of their
part of their brain died when
How
they
you could tell everyone it was Tom Hanks' son. They were like, I know. I've never recovered.
Yeah, a sleepy Chet, which sleepy Chet crashed into them, and part of their brains got whiplash. But other than that,
I love a sleepy Chet.
Tan Chet or sleepy Chet? Which one's the worst?
I'm gonna choose sleepy Chet. It feels less, dangerous.
I do like
Tan Chet is Chet on a mission, which is bad.
There is got to be a part of him that has like the magic of Tom Hanks. Like when he was asleep in his car, he's like, there's no sleeping on the 101.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's out now. He's out of rehab. He's feeling good, and he's starting to kind of move away from hip hop.
No.
Not all the way away.
Don't give up, Jed.
Well, no. But
it's a tough industry.
I didn't say he's getting. I didn't say he's moving away from music.
Thank God.
I just said he's moving away from hip hop.
You know how to build a story.
I like to think so. This is him and a guy named Drew Arthur of a band FTRZ. And this is a song they wrote together.
Futters?
Futters? You muttered Futters?
Yeah, like Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers? Yeah, it's him and a guy that works at Fuddruckers in Burbank.
Nice.
Yeah, this song is called Models. And so Drew Arthur is going to be the one who does the verses, and Chet Hanks sings the chorus, which is a very funny chorus. So this is not him singing. This is Drew Arthur.
All the days I was restless.
Yeah,
it's take the paycheck, buddy.
Yeah, dude, it's whatever. But the chorus is really something special.
He's singing along with this man's part, which I think is supportive. And
yeah,
it is nice.
Yeah.
Well, he's giving him a little bit of support, but I just want to kind of fast forward to the Chet part, because Chet's part is just incredible. Here it is.
Putting down my songs, chilling on the corner with cocaine, marijuana.
Whoa.
This is his rehab song. This is his Jason Isbell Cover Me Up. This is Cover Me Up for Idiots.
What corner?
Yeah. Huh?
The corner of like Rodeo and fucking and Wilshire. Like what?
So yeah, that's Models.
Where did they start talking about models?
At the beginning,
Cool.
Drew Arthur says something about California models. So. His new band, by the way, is called Something Out West, and they've been doing music and stuff like that recently.
Okay.
He doesn't have a bad voice. Again, I think it's important to point out that Chet,
that has been.
He's a very diversified artist.
He's a decent singer. Yeah. Well,
do you think, in all seriousness, do you think like he could have like some sort of like, if someone just like, we're not going to do any of your lyrics, like, but if like he may be put in a position to have like a rising like the Phoenix sort of like have a surprise hit out of nowhere.
Maybe not a surprise hit, but definitely like a surprise, like, oh, that's Tom Hanks. Like if that band got big,
that's Chet.
yeah,
I remember him from the Golden Globes.
the guy who said the N-word a bunch.
Tom who?
He was in my class. He was in my psychology 101 class at Northwestern.
Oh, funny you mentioned that. There was a tweet as soon as that thing of him saying something on the red carpet where it was like, yeah, that dude would be asleep every day in class. Like somebody tweeted like Chet Hanks was in my philosophy class, and that dude would just be high as shit and passed out in every class.
The internet is an amazing place.
It really
Oh,
is.
boy.
Yeah, between that guy and Ted Cruz's old roommate, those are my two favorite
oh my
things
God.
ever. Yeah, the Ted Cruz. Do you guys know about that one?
No.
That's
Or I don't.
I'll
can't think of
retweet some shit on our Twitter so you can see it. Yeah, the guy who was Ted Cruz's roommate at Harvard tweets about him constantly. Just what a fucking awful person. he was. Just like, and anytime Ted Cruz does anything, he'll be like, Ted Cruz thinks people don't have a right to stimulate their genitals. I was his college roommate. This would be a new belief of his.
Oh my God.
They don't have the right to stimulate their genitals?
Yeah, Ted Cruz is like anti-masturbation.
Oh, right.
Because he's fucking insane.
That makes sense.
As a freshman, I would get into senior parties because I was Ted's roommate out of pity. He was that widely loathed. It's his superpower. Second memory, Ted would leave a greasy film on everything. My friend Eric dubbed the substance cruz, rhymes with scuzz. There's cruz on my TV.
Ugh.
Craig Mazin is that guy's name. Yeah. Ted Cruz's old
What I
roommate.
gathered from that is that all men are the same. And, and all men have the exact same roommate experiences.
He did come off sounding a little bro. He's like, go to sleep, you masturbators, and all this shit. And it's just like, dude, fuck Ted. Not to defend Ted Cruz.
I know,
but-
this is now a Ted Cruz Stan podcast.
That's Chet Hanks.
There's
What
just so few things to say about Chet.
You know?
Beyond, like, I wonder what Christmas is like at that house, because Colin, he had that, hit with Orange County, that wonderful film.
Yeah,
and then
he was
that
in
was
Mad Men.
Yeah, it was a big
Mad Men.
couple of years for him. And then they're like, Chet, what have you been up to? And he's like, still dating that bi girl. And I got to tell you, she is the finest.
She's a model. California model.
Cocaine, marijuana.
On the street corner, cocaine. Brap, gonna kill you, Howard Stern. Cocaine on a belt on a boulevard. Cocaine model.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah.
Shit, I'd like to see you try. Honestly, I'd love to see you come in here, and I'd love to have you just fart directly in my face. Okay. Jesus, who is this guy? Anyways.
Oh, God.
It's more like I don't know. He's just this victim of. I mean, it's like a would-be Justin Bieber kind of thing. It's just someone who is...
No, but Justin Bieber was like his family's little rising star. Like, this is
Right.
the problem that I think that this whole episode needs to address is what do you do in the vacuum of like success?
Yeah.
When,
Yeah.
like, what do you do with your free time? You have everything afforded to you.
Yeah.
And so you're like, I'm going to buy a bunch of drum beepers and like make some fucking...
Drum beepers?
Sure.
I'm
Like,
going to do some things.
You never have to do anything with your life.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
make a beat. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm bored, I look at my laptop and I'm like, I'm gonna open GarageBand.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
then it's just because I've got absolutely nothing else going on in my life.
You made beats?
No, of course not.
Oh,
I'm not-
okay.
I'm not gifted in that region.
Oh, okay.
My talents lie, I don't know where yet. I'm still on the hunt, but it's not in GarageBand beat making.
There's no sleeping on the 101.
Rosalie has actually been on the podcast before a couple years ago with Brandy Posey as part of the Nicolas Cage episode that we did.
That's right.
I totally fucking forgot to mention that. You had the great story about Nicolas Cage's burial pyramid in St. Louis Cemetery No. 2 in New Orleans being hit by lightning a bunch of times. And in the course of that, we mentioned Nicolas Cage's, he's got the two kids, the two sons. One of them, and I found this amazing picture, and I'll put this on Twitter. I just wanted to show you. This is Nicolas Cage walking with his son, Kal-El.
Big Superman guy. Yeah.
And of course, Nicolas Cage is dressed like a villain who also has a time machine from the late 1800s.
He has a cane?
He's got a cane. He's got a scarf, tinted glasses, and a sort of a half stovepipe hat.
He looks like the guy from the Christmas Carol.
Yeah, he looks like Scrooge. Like cyberpunk Scrooge.
That's exactly how I would describe him, honestly, if he wasn't in that outfit.
Scrooge Runner.
Scrooge Runner. There it is. But I wanted to talk about his other son, Weston.
Weston's a normal name.
Weston. He got a normal name, Wes Cage.
That's the only thing normal about him.
Born in 1990, Weston formed a black metal band named Eyes of Nocturne in 2006.
Oh, shit.
And they went forth to produce an album together, Eyes of Nocturne, which performed well globally in the world of black metal music. However, the band fell apart in 2011 due to differences, and Weston moved on to coin out a solo music career, taking up the name Wes Cage as his stage name, and he even invented his brand of black metal music, which he called ghost music.
Oh, no.
The music integrates the use of lots of ancient musical instruments, giving it a ghostly feel, hence its name.
As a connoisseur of such things,
I want you to hear this because this is the cool thing about this song. So this is Wes Cage, and the song is called Black Sun Damascus. And interestingly, this song actually features on lead vocals in the chorus motherfucking Nicolas Cage himself.
I love this family. Okay, I'm sorry. And what's nice about Nick and his son is that he used to take his goth son on the red carpet with him. And so it's like
goth son.
That's like a nice moment. I think this is a testament to like a parent truly appreciating his son.
This is my goth son.
Yeah, we're all Supermen, you know? We're all Supermen, so it's great.
He loves his goth son.
I love my goth son. Let's see it.
This is Black Sun Damascus by Wes Cage. And of course, like I said, featuring Daddy. So this is Wes's singing, but then Nick Cage is doing the melody on the he's gonna actually sing the chorus here. So this is, I don't know, what do you think, Carter? I'm not a black metal guy, but you know.
This isn't really, well, I mean, black metal this is like death metal, but it's
yeah.
I mean, it's you could see this shit at any like if it wasn't Nick Cage's son, I'd be like, yeah, this is just another like metalcore band.
Yeah. Here comes Nicolas Cage singing the chorus here.
A fucking triumph.
Wow.
It's pretty good. Nicolas Cage his son sucks, but Nicolas Cage is really good.
In all that time we were making fun of him.
Oh yeah.
There he was.
Oh yeah.
Killing it.
I agree with you. I like their like weird little pocket they occupy in this, this podcast.
Well, let me read some of his less proud moments.
No.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. So
we want to lift people up.
Does
on
he
this
say
podcast.
the N-word too?
No. He's not that kind of bad. He's
Okay,
just
good.
regular.
I'm still Team West then.
So he says, people have a preconceived notion that I grew up with a life of many privileges, but they don't know how dark it can be in a house like that. So I used it as my gasoline to play out the vengeance in my heart. So that's a quote from Wes.
I still love him.
So here's
like him.
a little,
cringy, but yeah.
Here's a little bit of his vengeance. So on his profile on Backstage.com, he says that he is multilingual with the ability to speak a collection of languages that include English, Russian, Italian, Greek, and German. Moreover, Wes is a highly skilled sword fighter. and a martial arts master, having acquired these skills at Beverly Hills High School.
Hell yes.
That's what it says on the thing, and I'm just like, dude, I've driven by Beverly Hills High School, and I see those motherfuckers playing soccer. I don't see anybody with a katana.
Because they are indoors working on their craft.
They're in the blacksmith shop forging a sword like Pai Mei.
It's like Nicolas Cage. It's like, yeah, he gambles all of his money away and he's insane, but it's like, can you hate the guy? Really? I mean, maybe you
I
can.
honestly think that Wes Cage should be the Bachelor.
The goth bachelor?
He sounds like the perfect man.
The goth bachelor. I just got a vengeance in my heart. I don't give a shit who has the rose.
I don't care that my dad is famous. I'm unique.
I want to hear his black metal band.
You're getting a black rose from me. At around 4 o'clock on June 7th, 2011, Weston Cage was at the Farmer's Kitchen in Hollywood. I looked this up. This place is closed, but it was at Hollywood and Vine near Capitol Records. When his personal trainer told him he couldn't order the mozzarella sticks.
No.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Weston started shouting and pushing the trainer. The scuffle spilled out onto the street. It was at this point that Weston Cage attempted a roundhouse kick. The trainer...
Attempted being the operative word.
Again, martial arts master, according to his profile. Beverly Hills High School.
Beverly Hills High.
Turns out that ain't no Cobra Kai, Daddy.
They turn out killers out of that show. Yeah.
He attempted a roundhouse kick. The trainer easily took Weston down and began pummeling him on the streets.
Why'd they have to add easily in?
I added that.
Okay.
Well, it was based on I wrote this part. It was based on the descriptions that I read, though, because apparently that.
I want to fight.
So,
I want to struggle.
So, there's a video. I should have said, like, he takes him down, and this is when all the camera phones start rolling, because camera phones were rolling as his personal trainer rained down approximately 13 unanswered punches to Weston's head and face. So there's just a video of Nicolas Cage's goth son move his head back over a curb as a personal trainer who's jacked as shit just beats the shit out of him on the streets.
To be honest,
what did we learn? What did we
You're
learn?
not getting the mozzarella sticks! Like,
I feel like I would have a similar reaction, though.
That's the funniest detail.
Someone said that
They
to
come
me.
from the gym, and he's like, "I want the mozzarella sticks." The guy, he's just got sweat. Just his makeup is running. This white corpse paint.
That adds a whole new level.
Yeah,
to the
no,
story.
I've just imagined this part. Of course, he goes to the gym in corpse paint. He's got to, but
Yeah.
Wes, you just crushed that workout. What do you want to do, man? The night is young. Mozzarella sticks.
mozzarella sticks.
No, you don't get mozzarella sticks. You know that.
It's the perfect goth snack.
No.
Mom, I want to go. Want the mozzarella sticks.
Don't cook them too long. The cheese and blue eyes stick. I'm gonna write a metalcore song about it. I want. Come on, what are we doing tonight? The night is young. We're in West Hollywood. Come on, man, you're looking shredded.
I want some mozzarella sticks. I'm gonna hang upside down from my inversion table.
You don't understand me. No one does.
No one understands me. So he just gets the shit beaten out of him. The trainer kept him pinned down until
Cheese sticks are good. I get it.
I get it. Yeah, dude. The trainer kept him pinned down until cops arrived. He was let up off the ground, but began freaking out again. And cops told Weston if he didn't get on the ground, they would tase him. So he complied.
No.
They put him in handcuffs, and they were so worried at how unstable he was, they ended up strapping him to a gurney to take him to jail. That was 2011. Around noon on February 4th, you know these are bad because there's an exact time. Around noon on February 4th, 2017, Weston was driving in the San Fernando Valley in his white Chevy Camaro when he got into a minor car accident. He exchanged info with the other driver, but then realizing that cops were on their way, so he made a run for it. About a mile from the first crash, Cage lost control of the car, veered onto a lawn, and took out a row of mailboxes. He then drove across the lawn and took out a street sign on the other side before he ultimately crashed into a tree and a Volkswagen parked on the edge of the sidewalk. So, and he got a DUI for that. But apparently he's doing better now. So,
what's he doing now?
More music. Yeah, he broke up with that first band. He did the solo record that we played with Nicolas Cage singing on the thing, and then his band now is
Takeaway from that is, what a set of pipes on Nicolas Cage.
I know, yeah, that's the sad part, is like it just raises my opinion of Nicolas Cage higher. His current band is called Arch Anubis, and it's
cool.
Yeah, so
some metal shit.
Yeah. We'll take a brief listen to this.
The idea that you want to include your dad in your little subculture, I think, is really nice. Like, I used to ask my dad to take me to punk shows, and he used to say yes, and he would just stand in the back because he loved his daughter.
Aw.
And that's basically what I'm saying is I'm Nicolas Cage's godson in my family.
My parents would drop me off at punk shows, and then they'd be like, "Just don't die."
And you're just like, well, no guarantees.
Yeah, well,
This seems to have Anubis being an Egyptian god. This sort of seems to have sort of an Egyptian theme because this one is called Horus and Ares. Of course,
Wow.
Horus
kind of like Nile, sort of like technical. I'm going to call it technical death metal. That's like based around,
around Egyptian shit. I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps.
Horus being an Egyptian god, Ares being a Greek god. So this is some sort of a Ptolemaic metal, if you will.
perhaps.
Here we go.
What makes Egypt so metal?
Oh, I can already hear the.
Yeah, this like the
It's got
the history of like is built on blood. There's a lot of ghosts like stuff.
It's
I
all about
guess.
death.
It's all death and brutality.
Yeah,
so.
the whole like Pharaoh dynasty.
This feels like the music in the background of Tomb Raider.
Oh my God, it really does.
Yes, it does.
I had not listened to this before this. This is me hearing this for the first time.
It's about to open all the way up right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
This is kind of cool. I like all the
West.
chords. I like all those like kind of Middle Eastern, Northern African sort of chords. You
It's
know.
about to be like. Let's go the Cookie Monster thing on.
Yeah. I just love my goth son.
Honestly, go off, West Cage.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Good
go
for
off,
you.
King. Like that.
Yes.
Yeah. This is not like this is for what it is.
Yeah. I didn't know there was such a thing as death metal that used Egyptian chords and
Dude,
stuff going
check out the
on.
band
Yeah.
Nile.
Okay. Oh, so it's a ripoff of another thing.
Perhaps, but
Gotcha.
This is a child success story, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yeah, absolutely. think
Carving
so.
out his own niche in the
He
metal
loves
world.
his goth son, yeah.
Yeah, he loves his goth son.
I just want, and he loves his other son too, and he loves dressing.
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
he loves dressing like a Scrooge, a time traveling Scrooge. I'm here to say bah humbug to the prehistoric times.
The past, the present, and the future. Wow.
I'm gonna break my rusty cage and run. I'm gonna break my rusty cage and run.
I just have to read this list. We just got to do it. If we're talking about famous people's kids, we just got to do the thing, which is just the weird baby names. And we don't have to spend a lot of time. I just want.
Oh, I used to have a teacher. She would like freak out about Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow's kids.
That's the first one I have.
They would name their son Apple.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just the worst thing you could possibly do.
That's why I have those at the top of the list. Apple, Blythe, Allison Martin, and Moses Martin. Duh. North, Saint, and Chicago West. Duh. Cameron Diaz and Benji Madden from Good Charlotte.
Congratulations on your newborn child.
Just had a kid,
Hey.
and they named it Radix Chloe Wildflower Madden.
Boo.
Meanwhile, the other half of Good Charlotte, Joel Madden, is married to Nicole Richie, and they have a child named Sparrow James Midnight.
I've always said about those Madden brothers, they're the punkest motherfuckers I've ever heard of. I mean, like from the anthem on, I was just like, this is like they are the Damned and the Sex Pistols reincarnated.
Sparrow James Midnight is the operation that Mayor Pete did on his honeymoon
Oh
in
my
Somaliland. Where he took out those rebel dissidents.
Honestly, my entire childhood bedroom was in dedication to these two twin brothers, so I'm fine with whatever they name their kids. I wish that they would give me one of those kids to name.
Have a go at it. Why not?
Yeah.
Uma Thurman and her businessman beau, Arpad Busan, revealed the name of their child to People magazine through a spokesman. Quote, I would like to announce Uma and Arpad's daughter's name for the first time officially. Rosalind Arusha Arcandina Altaluna Florence Thurman Busan.
Or Rosie.
Better known to friends and family as Luna.
Luna.
Of course.
That's kind of a cool name.
And this kid is killing it on Insta right now. Jermaine Jackson's son is named Your Majesty.
That's the best
Oh
one.
my God.
That's
Your
the best
Majesty Jermaine Jackson.
He saw a chance. He saw an opportunity, and he took it.
Your Majesty.
Whenever he like orders something from like a McDonald's or something, they're like, Your Majesty.
So Jason Lee named his.
I know.
You remember it?
Pilot Inspector.
Pilot Standard Inspector Reese Groff Lee.
Why? Why do you hate your kids so much when they're so young?
Well,
Because it's red. It's like fucking.
well, so Pilot comes from. So he's big buddies with the band Grandaddy, who I love a lot too, and they put out a record in 2000 called "The Software Slump." And the first track of the album is a really great song called "He's Simple, He's Dumb, He's the Pilot." Let's see, Sylvester Stallone.
I mean, he was in Mallrats, so.
You can't trust him.
Sylvester Stallone has 3 daughters that are named Sistine
They're all
Rose.
named, hey, yo.
Hey, what am I doing?
Hey, Rose. Hey.
Sistine Rose Stallone, Sophia Rose Stallone, Scarlett Rose Stallone. They've all got the same middle name, which is weird.
Well, I mean, he made
really
the same.
loved a rose.
A rose by any other name would smell like my daughter.
Hey, yo, I say Rose. I say, hey, Rose, what's going on here? It's like all three of them turn their heads. Like, yo, you know? It's like crazy, you know?
So Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale should be arrested for these names. Kingston James McGregor Rossdale. I should actually say these in the Chet Hayes voice.
Oh, yes.
Kingston James McGregor Rossdale.
I like how that the patois is now Chet Hayes' voice.
Zuma Nesta Rock Rossdale. Booyah.
I'm trying to do Gwen Stefani.
And I don't know if y'all know Nesta. Does that ring a bell for anybody? Does anybody know that?
Yeah, like the candy company.
No, that's Bob Marley's middle name, Zesta.
Oh, I thought you said
Or
Nesta.
Zesta. No,
Zesta.
that's his spice company.
Sorry, I fucking Zuma Nesta. Yeah, Robert Nesta Marley is Bob Marley's name. So that's a little tribute to Bob. And of course,
Shout out to Bob.
Apollo Boy Flynn Rossdale. Booyah!
I am not afeard of them.
Bob Geldof and Paula Yates. These are their 3 kids. Fifi Trixie Bell Geldof. These are also characters in the movie Cats. Peaches Honey Blossom Geldof.
Yeah,
And-
Mr. Mustopheles Geldof.
Rum Tum Tugger Geldof, Little Pixie Geldof. So that's Bob Geldof. More English madness here. This is
I've never listened to the Boomtown Rats. I don't understand Bobby. Well, his whole thing was Live Aid, right? He organized Live Aid.
yeah, Live Aid was his big thing. But yeah, Boomtown Rats. What's that song? I Hate Mondays or some shit, or is that Garfield? I'm thinking.
No, it's Manic Mondays, and that was the Bengals.
No, God, I think they have a song called "I Don't Like Monday" or some shit. Jamie Oliver, the British chef and restaurateur, his kids are named Poppy Honey Rosie, Daisy Boo Pamela,
I was going to name my daughter Daisy Boo.
Daisy Boo Pamela, Petal Blossom Rainbow, and Buddy Bear Maurice.
Buddy
Bear Maurice.
No, that's their dog. That's got to be a dog.
Yeah, maybe reading these in like the Ray Liotta Goodfellas voice.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
We had Buddy Bear Maurice. We had Rose Petal Blossom. I mean,
Daisy Boo Pamela.
We had Daisy Boo Pamela. We had Two Eyes McGillicuddy. They were all there. And now it's all over.
Kate Winslet and her husband, whose name is Ned Rock and Roll. I did not investigate that.
His name is Ned Rock and Roll? Her husband is.
Kate Winslet's husband. I was like, this is like a whole other can of worms that I just don't even want to open. Her husband's name is Ned Rock and Roll, and they're
What insane parent does he have?
I don't think it's his real name.
Why do you land on that though?
Right? It's a long
If you have every name in the book to choose.
Oh, here.
And I want to go with Ned.
Oh wait, I forgot.
And rock and roll.
Not that I would wish ill on anybody, but I kind of want him to have heart disease and then to be taken to the hospital and then be like, yep. Yeah. The heart of rock and roll is still beating. It's still beating. And then they can all high five and then he lives. But just for once.
Ned Rock and Roll is Kate Winslet's third husband. He also happens to be the nephew. There's all these nephews. The nephew of billionaire Richard Branson.
Oh my God.
His real name is Ned
The
Smith.
fun billionaire.
Ned Smith.
His real name is Ned Smith.
Sucks.
Yeah, I know. You'd think his name would be like Time Unit fucking
I know.
fart
He's like,
face.
I would really wish I could just go by Ned all the time.
Ned Smith is fine. It will do.
Let's see. He changed his birth name, Ned Abel Smith, to Ned Rock and Roll in 2008 to better express his fun-loving personality. This guy's probably the worst person in the world. Ned Abel, let's see. It is Ned's belief that people take themselves too seriously. So to show that he does not
Ned,
do
you're
that,
not wrong.
he changed his name to Ned Rock and Roll. Ned has since changed his name back to Smith. But yeah, their son's name is
A tale of love and loss, truly.
their son's
What a
name.
midlife crisis that is.
Their son's name is Bear Blaze Rock and Roll.
God damn it.
Jesus.
And a similar thing, Alicia Silverstone and Christopher Jarecki, who is the lead singer of an LA punk band called Scream Toward the Uprising of Nonconformity, or Stun. They named their son Bear Blue.
What is with all the bear stuff, guys?
It's a lot of bear
A lot
stuff.
of bear content here.
It's just like they see it from him, he's like, "You're my little cuddle bear." Like, that's the name.
That's exactly how I was thinking of him.
This is Robert Rodriguez's kids: Rocket Rodriguez, Racer Rodriguez, Rebel Rodriguez, Rogue Rodriguez, and Rhiannon Rodriguez.
You got to think like all these kids are just hanging out with each other, so like they all have batshit names. So it's like it doesn't seem abnormal when you're hanging out with other celebrities' kids.
John,
Without the pleasure of with peers around, homeschooled without the pleasure of hanging out with other kids.
Right. They don't have to look as being named Carter Glasscock for 32 years. They don't understand what it's going to be
they don't
like.
know struggle like
They
I
don't
know
know
struggle.
it. They don't know it. All right.
I just slipped into Chet Hayes. They don't know the struggle.
You just slip in.
It's not offensive when we say it. When we say it as Chet Hayes, it's fine.
John Cougar Mellencamp's kid is named Speck Wild Horse Mellencamp.
No.
Speck Wild Horse.
Speck Wild Horse. David Duchovny named his kid Kid. KYD.
I feel like that makes sense.
That's
Kid
the most
Miller.
deadbeat dad name ever. Your name is Son.
Your name's Sport.
Your name is you.
Just name yourself.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't care.
I'm a method actor. I got to be an alcoholic writer.
Jonathan Davis from Korn. His kids are named Zeppelin Houseman Davis and Pirate Houseman Davis.
Houseman?
I think that must be his wife's name. HOWSMON. But still, their kids' name are their kids' name are Pirate and Zeppelin. And then of course classic Frank Zappa, Diva Thin Muffin Zappa,
Yes.
Dweezil Zappa, Moon Unit Zappa, and then somehow Ahmed got out with a normal fucking name.
I'll take it from Frank Zappa.
For some reason, this one, I don't know, not for some reason, I know why, because it's Bono. This one angered me the most. Bono's kids are named Memphis Eve and Elijah Bob Patricius Googie Q Hewson.
Say that one again. Give me that one again. Googie goo.
Elijah Bob Patricius Googie Q Hewson.
Can't do it after Googie.
How is Googie spelled?
G-U-G-G-I. Or
Yeah,
maybe
then-
that's Gucci. But
That's
either
not
way,
even
it's bad.
better.
Gucci. And then Q. Simply the letter Q.
Yeah.
Elijah.
Aloysius Googie Q.
Elijah. It sounds like his brain is melting.
Yeah,
What do you name your
it's the
son?
last thing you say when you have a stroke.
Yeah,
like,
the DMT just goes into your bloodstream at the last upon your demise. It's like
Marcelo Aloysius Googie Cucumbers.
Elijah Bob Patricius Googie Q Houston.
Yeah.
That's the
Boy.
life just leaving your brain.
That's what happens when you ask crowds of people to see if you want to see a sea of hands for 30 years. You start naming people Googie Q, shit like that.
Meanwhile, The Edge named his kid Blue Angel.
That's
There's some themes here. It's bear. It's blue,
Oh yeah, lots of blue.
and it's Bob Marley.
yeah.
That's the other theme.
Blue Angel also sounds very Aryan.
Of course, Ashley Simpson and Pete Wentz have a child named Bronx Mowgli.
God damn it.
Jesus Christ.
And of course, Rob Morrow from the TV show Numbers named his child Two,
A two?
as in tomorrow.
Oh, that's wow, classic joke.
Fuck you.
I'm one of these kids are going to be named "fuck you" or something, or like "I chew."
At least they know they'll never hate themselves more than their parents did.
Well, there's
Right? Yeah.
there's one kid named let's see, Shooter Jennings, who we mentioned.
Well, Shooter was a nickname. He's named after his dad. His name is Waylon.
Yeah, well, but this ain't a nickname. His daughter, Alabama Gypsy Rose.
Oh no, the Gypsy Rose name legacy.
Now appearing on stage 3, dancing to Girls,
Yeah,
Girls,
yeah.
Girls. I took it because I like true romance, and her name was Alabama, and I've always liked that Grateful Dead song, Alabama Gypsy Rose.
Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart. Oh yeah, this is fantastic. Oh, my God.
I can't afford those nice pasties, so I put Band-Aids on my boobs when I dance.
when I dance.
Real thing that happened to my friend Caroline at a strip club in Carrollton, Georgia. All the strippers had Band-Aids on their nipples. No pasties, just
heavens to Murgatroyd. Well, I never.
Yeah. Also, I don't even know who the fuck these people are, but this is a real famous one. Shannon Sossamon and Dallas Clayton. They're a musician and author. Anyway, and they named their kid Audio Science.
No.
So
Kind of cool.
yeah.
Wait. Actually,
Compared to like Googie Q Monster, I'd take Audio Science. You call me Audi.
They say the harder rock and roll is to be. And from what I've seen, I believe it. Now the young may be barely breathing, but the harder rock and roll is to be tender.
Do you have Allman Brothers stuff?
I have. Yeah. So
Let's
of
talk-
Of course, that's what I came to talk.
Hell yeah. Let's talk bros for a minute.
Yeah, so those dudes, if there's one thing that they loved on Earth, it was like playing the blues. And the second thing that they loved almost as much as playing the blues was just laying seed.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sowing the wild oats all the way across the
just
country.
Illegitimate children all over the place.
boy.
So a couple of the children have now formed a band called the Allman Betts Band. And I think it's important to notice the Allman Brothers Band, the Allman Betts Band, ABB, across the board. But, you know, they're all musicians. They all sort of grew up in the shadows of their last names. But they all had varying degrees of relationships to their dads. So we have, in this band, we have Devin Allman, which is Greg Allman's son. We have Dwayne Betts, namesake of Dwayne Allman, which is Dickie Betts' son. His mom was Cher's assistant. And still is. And so that was that relationship. And so he grew up in Sarasota, Florida. I was reading Dickie Betts' website, just like you do in the morning sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
And there's a section on Dwayne, his son, and it
You could
said,
schedule a knife fight with Dickie Betts. Hey, you want to come fight Dickie Betts in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Sign up here. You could win a trip to Florida to fight Dickie Betts in the parking lot. You get
Bet you won't.
You bet you won't. You get a motorcycle chain. He gets all the knives he wants.
I've never won that raffle. But there's a section about his son on there where he just says, Dwayne was homeschooled without the luxury of having other kids around. And
Dwayne is a sociopath.
it's like
Wow.
he just put that on his son's biography, and so I was like, oh, that doesn't bode well.
Yeah.
Without the bane of peer
Why
interaction.
bring it up? Yeah.
Yeah. So you sorry about his dead, lifeless eyes. That's my bad. That's my bad.
So I found that really odd. And so then it talks about how he moved to Malibu to where his mom was living, and he started playing
to become more relatable.
There it is. But he looks so much like his dad. Have you seen pictures of him?
Of
Dwayne?
Of Dwayne Betts? No, I haven't. Let's go ahead and pull it up.
He's a handsome dude, and he looks a lot like his dad. And he really is going so hard into the hat and like Southwestern hat and boots.
Oh, sure.
situation.
Holy shit.
He's a good-looking dude. That man
Whoa.
is like he's 40 or something.
Let's have a
Though
look.
he's so
Goddamn,
young.
yeah, he does look
give me a
exactly
little
like
tilt there.
He does look exactly like his dad. We'll put this up on our Twitter at the Goods Pod so you can see it.
Wow.
So I think that he's
That's
a handsome
wild.
guy. I mean, and I think he has a great singing voice.
And he's got a necklace made out of bones.
Yeah, he really dives hard into the Southwestern
Sure, yeah.
situation.
It's a whole situation.
That's the name of his band.
I feel bad because none of these are like funny anecdotes, but it's like, so he was, you know, he moved to Malibu. He played in like Dawes for a while, and he's
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he,
No, Dawes.
he's a talented songwriter, and I think that he has a nice voice. His guitar playing is pretty good. And so I guess he met Devin Allman and Barry Oakley's son, who's also in the band.
Okay, yeah.
That's a whole thing as well. They all met during like the late 80s on one of the revival tours for the Allman Brothers. And
Yeah.
They were all teenagers. And so he started playing music with them. But so he's in the band. So we have Dwayne Betts, and then we have Devin Allman, who is a man and with not a ton of special attributes. I don't know if he doesn't look particularly like his dad,
Okay.
in my opinion, and he doesn't sound like him either.
Oh, good.
But he's like, they're all friends with, do you remember Cisco Adler, They did that.
Oh, the thong
song. Yeah.
What was the name of the group that did that Corona and Lime song?
Is country band?
No, it was like a rap. Anywho, okay. Anywho, they're all friends with like, these subpar sort of like
right.
musicians. And yeah, so Devin Allman is there. I should say he's also present. But then the real star of the whole group,
Devin Allman, present.
He's there, and like he didn't meet his dad until he was a teenager, and they didn't really have much of a relationship. The parents divorced when they were really young, when he was like a child, and so. But he said that there was an instant bond, but of course we didn't really hear anything from him until after Greg died. It's kind of like all the kids, like we just didn't hear very much from them until he died. So now here he is cultivating a music career on his last name. And
like you do.
We're
gonna have to hear this music now.
Play the song. There's a song called "Try," and it's peak songwriting ability. And you'll get to hear Devin's voice on it, and you'll get to hear that it's not at all like his dad's.
Okay.
Something to say.
Oh. Kind of sounds like Waylon. Or he's like, or not. It doesn't sound like he's doing. He's trying to sound like Waylon, I should say.
With people that throw stones at me.
So the song is about
kind of
people.
Like Michael McDonald.
But so this album was recorded at Muscle Shoals Sound.
Okay.
Where Dwayne Allman was a session player.
Yeah. Famously slept in the parking lot in a pop tent.
That was Fame.
Huh? Oh, was that at Fame?
Yeah,
oh,
when
shit,
he was trying
okay.
to get a job.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So he was a session player there as well. But so they recorded that here, and part of this song references like it's just bad songwriting. And I feel bad talking shit about it, but it's just like not very good songwriting. And it's the whole song is I'm gonna try my best. That's the hook of the song.
Yeah,
it's like I've got words for people who throw stones at me. I'm gonna try my best. I'm going down to Muscle Shoals, gonna play my best. And it's just like so ironic.
Yeah.
But
that's got to be one of the truest sentiments coming from like a son or a son of a famous person. It's like I'm gonna try to carve out, even though I'm taking my parents' name.
Oh yeah,
and coasting off of it,
taking just full ownership over like the Allman Brothers legacy.
Yeah,
and because they play their songs and they do their renditions, they do like the guitar harmonies on their songs and stuff, and so it really is reminiscent. But the whole star of the whole band, in my opinion, is Barry Oakley Jr.
Sure.
So he never met his dad. His dad died when his mom was pregnant. His mom, well, she was John Densmore's wife, ex-wife.
From The Doors?
Yeah, the drummer of The Doors.
Wow.
And then so Barry Oakley and his mom had an affair while he was still married to Linda, which is like famously the mother of the young girl who's on the Brothers and Sisters album.
Oh,
Brittany.
shit, yeah.
So his dad died in November and he was born in March.
Okay, yeah.
But he is the exact image of his dad. He looks exactly like his dad. He's very handsome and he's extremely talented, and he sort of grew up.
He stays the fuck away from motorcycles.
Oh God,
probably.
So sad.
Hey-o.
But his mom later went on to marry one of the guys from Three Dog Night, and like so he grew up in like the arms of all these really talented musicians, and he was playing with all these groups, and he helped Butch Trucks start his band in his later life.
Oh, shit! Wow.
I know. And he's a really talented guy. He's a singer. And he just looks so much like his dad. When you look at him, it just makes your heart stop a little bit because he's identical to his dad. Not in the way that Dwayne is. Dwayne is kind of like an improved Dickie Betts.
Yeah, sure.
And then Devin is also there.
Yeah.
But so these three boys, they came together to start this band that's just like pays homage, but the music is like really questionable. And
or would you say subpar, perhaps?
Yeah, I guess I would.
Okay. How do you guys feel about Justin Townes Earl?
Oh, good question. I like exactly one of his songs. Yeah. I like the song Harlem River Blues a lot.
Yeah, that album is fine.
Yeah. Well, no, that's fine. The thing. I like that song a lot.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I feel that way. Where I'm like,
he carved out like enough of his own thing to where, and he doesn't really look or sound like his dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I mean, the Allman Brothers
they have so much connected to them because they just have so many kids and family members.
Right.
But one of the success stories, because I want to counteract everything negative I've said with like a positive thing, is Butch
large
Trucks.
contingency of their fan base listens to the show.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I can't say anything rude because there's kids everywhere. So many. But, you know, Butch Trucks' nephew, freaking Derek Trucks, is one of the most talented people on earth.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And
exactly.
Yeah, he's amazing. The Tedeschi Trucks Band is amazing.
Yep.
And he's just like living incarnate of like blues, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it helps when you've been playing with the Allman Brothers Band since you were what? 13, 14,
Right.
something crazy.
He was covering Layla on stage at like 12 or 13,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was killing it. He was ripping it up.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so,
shit.
in Greg Allman's book, he says that like that's the reincarnation of his brother,
Derek.
Yeah, but it's
Which probably does
amazing.
wonders for your weird private school son's self-esteem.
Yeah, but
You know, this guy I'm not related to at all. He's actually my family's legacy.
yeah. Well,
about
I
me,
mean, have
Debbie?
you ever noticed how much he looks like Greg Allman?
Oh, that's true. Oh.
I mean, I don't know.
Ah.
I'm not. He's Butch Trucks' nephew, but he really does look a lot like him.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, actually. Yeah. Macon's a small town. Macon whoopee.
I know when I was in Macon, someone said to
Making
me at
kids.
one point, they were
Making
just like, when you're out there, just take a look at how many blonde people are.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So I assume we've all been to the Allman Brothers house in Macon.
Oh, yeah.
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 You've been.
Oh
okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, Macon, Georgia. That's shout out to my boy Patrick Cunningham, and just opened up a comedy club in Macon, Georgia.
Oh, so
No
cool.
shit.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll be coming to Macon soon.
Making the rounds.
Making the rounds. Exactly. Couple more rapping sons. We've we kind of lost.
I honestly missed Chet, so I'm so glad we're getting back to the heart
Oh
of this.
well, yeah. This one, there's less detail about this guy because this has been very buried. Just know that I did a lot of work to raise from the dead.
You would be remiss to not mention this.
this
on the
song,
podcast.
and of course, I am talking about Gabriel Kane Day Lewis. Kane. Yeah, that would be the spawn of Daniel Day-Lewis and
Carol Kane.
And he and so this is how deep, and any internet heads know what I mean by this. This is how this is
all the internet heads.
internet heads.
How many people out there like the internet? Show hands.
Well, no, the reason I say this is how deep this was buried. I had to find this on Daily Motion, which is where you find like Al
never
Qaeda
a
beheading
good sign.
videos and shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Is that what this is?
basically?
Well, Rivers,
The
you got
music
put.
version?
You got put on a list to get this.
well, the name is in French. Découvrir Gabriel de Louis Le Fil Rapport d'Isabelle. Like that's the title. So I had to dig
Oh, but
deep
they
for
put
this.
Daniel Day-Lewis's name on the title, which is nice.
Yes,
So
yes,
we
they
have
did.
context for this.
But yeah, this song, he did this song. So this kid, believe, was born in 1995, and so that makes him 25 now. He put this song out when he was still in college, and the song is called Green Auras.
I think it may have to do with a certain substance.
Oh, you'd be right.
Hey, yo. Yeah, you know what it is.
Yes,
I've
I do.
abandoned my son!
You're a
I've abandoned my boy!
The music flow, now let it take you away. And so it's been a hot minute since I've been in the game.
No, it hasn't. You're new.
I feel like I bought weed from that guy once.
He's
got his dad's forehead.
I must have made a wrong turn. I've been done lost, trying to find my way back to the top.
How old is he?
He's born in 1995, so now he's 25. But at the time, this is when he's still at. He references it. He
child.
says SLC, and I was like, Salt Lake City, but no, that's Sarah Lawrence College. That's where he's
All
going.
these guys with these, like, intelligent adjacent schools.
Yeah, borderline Ivy League.
Yeah, which they were bought their way into, I'm sure. But.
Yeah.
He's got a reference to his father. That's why I'm. That's
Did
coming
that say
up.
bipolar stoop kid?
Bipolar stoop kid. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I'm drinking daddy's milkshake, getting high as fuck. It's like something like that.
Just another one.
You've never lived in a place with a stoop, unless it was like a fucking multi-million-dollar penthouse in Manhattan. I gotta wait until it gets to the part where he talks about his dad because it's so good.
The mornings when I'm sad are the ones when I smoke first. Self-medicated gets my heart, my throat hurt. Trying to understand what it means to be a man. Appreciated by his friends and all of those who aren't his fans. Call me Gabe Day and not Gabe Day Lewis. Cause if you're trying to call me out, I'm about to Gabe Day lose it, bitch.
Oh my.
And shit, I know what fame is. Judging someone for the dad is just as bad as being racist.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
Oh,
Being
that is-
known.
that's the fucking like theme song of this whole episode.
Being known just for your dad is the same as being racist, is what he just said.
Yeah, hate is hate.
That shit is fucking wild.
Hate is hate.
What a wild take from Gabe Day.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask what his like thoughts on politics were, and so
Oh, yeah.
when I saw him, I was like, I need to know how that guy feels about racism.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me tell you about my dad.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is Gabe Day. He is now trying to be like kind of a legit musician, and so he has buried his rap past, which is why I had to go to fucking like a French.
Well, he's pulling a Kid Rock, I guess.
Well, no, but Kid Rock doesn't deny that Devil Without a Cause exists. You know,
true.
this guy wants you to think like, oh yeah, I never, whatever. No, I haven't done it. So he did some Vanity Fair profile or whatever, and he's just like talking about his tattoos and shit like that. But
Vanity Fair.
Oh yeah,
picked
yeah.
This up.
Slow day at Vanity Fair.
I know. They were
yeah.
like, they were sitting around doing this exact same situation where he was like, you know whose kid is crazy? Daniel Day-Lewis's kid.
This is a whole bureau of Vanity Fair, and I want to somehow be in charge of that bureau. Just crazy celebrity kids.
Just send them this. This is your audition reel.
Yeah, exactly. The other one I wanted to bring up, did y'all know that Tommy Hilfiger has a son
God, son of a bitch.
named Rich Hill? And would you believe it? He's a rapper.
He raps. Yeah, he raps.
That's what I think of when I see Tommy Hilfiger clothes. I'm just like, this is some pretty street shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. People wearing it too. I'm like, whoa. Am I on the wrong side of the tracks right now? Oh boy.
What does that say?
Support your local drug dealer.
That says support your local drug dealer. That's frame one on the video for Rich Hill. That's his rap name, Richard Hilfiger.
Oh my God.
His song is called Light Up.
All these kids love weed.
They love weed.
They love to do the weed.
Oh yeah, they love to do the weed. They've been doing the weed since.
Here we go. His voice is actually. I forgot to presage this. His voice is fucking horrible. I hate everything about this.
Not a Rich Hill fan.
Oh my god, I hate this.
Light up.
When I was young, all I did was play with matches. All I wanted to do was fuck an actress. Now I keep pounds tucked in my mattress.
Okay, joke's on him though. He could have.
Yeah.
If he hadn't have done this.
Motherfucker, I'm
I bet he still can.
savage. Keep company with the super bad bitch. Laid on the way back in a black thick. Old people say, what is all this madness? How does he
Old people.
This is the original OK Boomer.
Yeah.
Except this man is 30.
All these kids like hang on weed so much too. It's like, I'm bad too. I can be bad. Sometimes when my maid cleans up my room, I'll go and smoke weed in my Maserati. I'll go back in there and no one know. My dad's like rehearsing Shakespeare or some shit. I'll go in my room and I'll play Halo high as fuck.
I love the way this is shot. This is some iMovie shit right here.
I don't even know what Tommy Hilfiger looks like, so I can't speak.
Is he
to how much
wearing his
looks like.
dad's clothing in this?
No.
Wow, okay.
Conversation with Satan, but the motherfucker couldn't keep me caged in.
this motherfucker keep me caged.
Yeah,
He's
you're
like,
right. His voice is atrocious.
he's trying. Is he? Am I wrong? He's trying to do Lil Wayne.
Who knows what's happening
Like
here?
he's kind of doing a Lil Wayne thing of like you know how Lil Wayne breathes out. Right. Like how Lil Wayne breathes all of the air out of his lungs before he starts rapping.
Can we also appreciate that he was the first person unmasked on The Masked Singer this season?
Yeah. Dude, that was so.
Spoiler alert.
That was so obvious. That was. I don't even watch that show, but they were showing it, and it's him just going, all I really want to know is, are you gonna go my way? And you're like, yeah, that's Lil Wayne. There's no one else that could have been. But yeah, he did it because his kids love the show.
Isn't that nice?
Lil Wayne's a good guy.
A dad loves his son.
Yeah, that's cool. Lil
Good
Wayne.
parent alert.
That's what we're taking away from this is
I know.
Rich kids are bad.
I have good parent alert set on my phone.
And Lil Wayne is awesome.
He's a good dad.
Yeah.
You get the Good Dad Award.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucker, I'm on cough syrup.
I love my godson.
You're a nice daddy.
I was born long ago. I am the chosen, I'm the one.
What?
I have come to save the day, and I won't leave until I'm done. So that's why you got to try. You got to breathe and have some fun. No, I'm not paid. I play this game, and I won't stop until I'm done. But what I really want to know is, are you gonna go my way? And I got to know.
I mean, we can talk about Jacob Dylan. He's a
Yes.
he's a genuinely talented man.
Sure.
We got to talk about in a moment. Little teaser. Jacob's nephew, Pablo Dylan.
Yeah.
Who also raps, I understand.
Who also raps.
There we have it.
But let's talk about Jacob first. Let's do the good first.
Okay, so that's when I was researching all the children that have somehow like managed
When I was looking at all those kids.
when I was looking at all those kids.
It's fine. It was on the internet.
It sucks to talk a bunch of shit about people's children,
Hey,
but
man.
then
Yeah.
they all just they don't try very hard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like it breeds these like wildly unsuccessful albums and unsuccessful like careers and identities. Not to get too clinical with it. But
No,
maybe
no.
if they were hugged more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
With Jacob Dylan, definitely kind of the most successful, I
Yeah.
think, of
But
all
did
of
he
these,
ever
perhaps.
truly escape the shadow of his dad? You know what I mean?
And
Like-
I mean, that family is all genuinely hostile about talking about each other. They all just do.
Yeah.
He's the youngest of like 5 kids.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that went on to pursue a music career. He was fronted the Wallflowers, a wonderful band from the 90s. A lot of people consider him a one-hit wonder, but that whole record is awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, the one with one headlight, right?
Yeah, One Headlight and 6th Avenue Heartache.
6th Avenue Heartache.
It's
That's
a great song. And
I always associate that song with when I went to Pizza Hut. They used to have the Book It program, where if you read 4 books, they'd give you a free personal pan pizza.
No.
And definitely remember hearing that song in the Pizza Hut as I ate my little personal pan pizza because I read
where you
Cricket
hear
in
it.
Times Square or whatever. Yeah.
I did enjoy that movie. He was Echo in the Canyon.
Laurel Canyon became this heavenly place.
It's like an open ticket to a record, to everything.
That's an incredible environment for a musician to be in.
I fell in love with it.
Buffalo Springfield, the Beach Boys, the Mamas and Papas,
The Birds,
they were all there.
This kind of thing could only happen in Laurel Canyon.
We're all listening to each other's records. You can see the cross-pollination. The Beach Boys are said to be responsible for Sgt. Pepper.
Imagine a band influencing the Beatles.
The music that came out of the Laurel Canyon scene was inspiring to my generation of musicians.
This music shaped the second half of the 20th century.
The power of music is undeniable. I truly believe it can change the world.
This is where big dreamers went to.
okay, see, that's what I wanted to talk
Yes,
about.
let's chat about Echo in the Canyon. 'cause
Yeah. Okay, so everyone is like
rock hard right now to like talk about all these aging rock stars.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're all just glossing over the fact that a lot of them were not good people. And like again,
David Crosby, chief among them.
I know this. Like David Crosby, and it's hard because I don't like to talk mad shit about people who, you know, they made a lot of music and changed the society, like to change the way that we look at, you know, modern American songwriting. But they're really fucking complicated, and they rose to power and rose to fame during times that were just the fucking lawless wild west of like the music industry.
Oh yeah.
And they were just awful to women, and they were awful like in general. And now they're all old, and they're like, "Boo, I'm like really sick, so I'm gonna make a movie that's just like me talking about how I've been so fortunate and lucky." And it's really just like, I don't know, like Robbie Robertson has a documentary coming out.
Oh no.
And it kills
Fuck
me.
him.
And he's just like, how can we all forget that he let his friends just age and die with no money?
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the thing too. The name of the documentary is Robbie Robertson and the Band. So
just-
it's,
What?
Oh yeah.
And I mean, we have that whole narrative that like him and Levon like became friends again when he was sick, but Levon was playing shows during his cancer treatment.
Yeah. And actively
make money.
not having Robbie on any of those shows.
Yeah, and
very
so-
pointedly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And so it's like with David Crosby, every single account of like, you know, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and everything, they all point to him being just so insufferable.
Yeah.
And then now here he is, Cameron Crowe is like putting him on his back and like helping him with this apology tour, and it's really hard to watch as someone who's, you know,
Sure.
passionate.
Well, talk about that a little bit. Well, let's just tell people if they're listening, you don't know, you can check out on Netflix right now. There's this documentary called Echoes in the Canyon, or Echo in the Canyon.
Echo in the Canyon.
And it's Jacob Dylan essentially going around to all of the former Laurel Canyon people. I want to do a Laurel Canyon episode at some point. I've got the two books there.
There's the
Canyon of Dreams and just Laurel Canyon.
I want to read those.
Both those books are great, and I want to do a whole episode because there's just a bunch of like interesting shit that went on there.
The whole like in that movie, the whole thing, like the supposedly like scandalous expose that David Crosby says, he's like, and I'll just say, and, you know, he's all in his like little like, you know, suspenders and shit, and he's like an
Give
old
him a
guy
new
now.
hat.
Yeah, he's got his old stupid hat, and he's just like,
he's got the Quint hat from Jaws. He got the hat out of the belly of the shark.
Oh yeah,
and put it on.
And they're at Griffith Observatory, and he's like, you know, we wrote a couple songs with your dad, you know, all this shit. And then he's like, the thing he says, he was like, and I'll just say it, I was an asshole. I was an asshole.
Yeah.
And like that's a big shocking reveal.
I know,
it's
we're
like,
all just like, yes, every
of
single
course you
book
were.
has told us that.
Yeah, well, it's so funny because with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, like everyone just assumed that Neil was the guy who was like hard to work with.
Yeah, and I'm sure he was.
Because he's like all weird and mercurial and stuff like that, and he's like a true genius. So you kind of have to just like give him as much leash as you can. But Crosby, it turns out, is the main one they're all mad at. I think.
Yeah.
Like Stephen Stills and Neil Young are both like, we will never work with this guy again.
There's this fucking. If you ever listened to 4-Way Street,
oh yeah, of course, yeah,
dude. Stephen Stills is so hilariously geeked up on cocaine in that. It's so funny. Like there's this one, like I think they're doing For What It's Worth, and he's like. He's beside himself. He's going, "Give your hands high, 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 high." I mean, like you can like hear, like you know, you can hear the blood trickle coming down his nose. You remember he used to think it was so funny. Also on 4-Way Street, this part right before Stephen Stills does the song, he's like kind of like fiddling around with the guitar or whatever, and then he just like goes up to the mic and goes, "Gonna do a country blue." And we just would say that to each other, like, "Gonna do a country blue." Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Maybe he was trying to say, "Gonna do a country blues song" or something, and then
gonna do a country blue.
But yeah, this documentary though.
Yeah, but they were all pieces of shit. They were terrible at each other.
Long story short, but I mean, what you said is exactly how I perceived the entire documentary, which is just Jacob Dylan hunting down like old associates of like, and you know, the Laurel Canyon thing. It's really interesting, but we have every single story. Like, there is no mystery left to Laurel Canyon because every single person has written a book. Everyone, you know, if they're dead, we got every single story. You know, the most interesting stuff all happened around Frank Zappa, and I feel like I never learned new stories about that. And
right.
It's not in the documentary at all, too.
They don't mention Zappa.
Lady Gaga owns that house now too,
yes, she
which
does.
is so wild.
Yeah.
But anywho, I mean, it's just Jacob Dylan wearing a black peacoat with the thing turned up with the glasses,
looking like he. It's funny because he looks
like his dad.
Way more like Bob hop now in
Right.
his older age than he did when he was young.
And he's like asking for stories about this time period. And it just feels like this whole trip of Jacob trying to like connect and get the stories that his dad just wouldn't tell him in a way.
Yeah. It's
know.
very
Yeah, his dad's being like, well, we were all troubadours living on the wings of our desires.
It's like, all right, Bob.
All right, thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, like, I mean...
But it's a good
yeah, then, like,
documentary.
the whole, I mean, it's...
Oh, it's yeah.
I
the
like it.
music is great.
And
yeah, they do that big performance at the end. I think, like,
Yeah.
doesn't Fiona Apple do a song with Jacob Dylan or something?
Yeah, Fiona Apple's in it. Beck is in it.
Yeah, Beck's
Regina
in it.
Spektor is in it. So it's all of like that kind of like Gen X.
Oh yeah, Jade is part of it, right?
Jade,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah,
She's great.
but it's kind of that whole like Gen X crew of LA people, like Beck, like Jacob
The
Dylan.
longing for Laurel Canyon.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, what does it have now? One time I was at the country store there and I saw the Jonas Brothers, and that's about all that I've got for Laurel Canyon.
Yeah. Shitty roads and,
Traffic.
Yep.
traffic.
But if you drive up into the things, you see the little bungalows, and it's like, of course, it's reminiscent of this time period, but we have all the stories. So, like, Jacob
Yeah.
Dylan goes on the hunt to reconnect all these people and talk about the music and about the time period, and it's just...
Well, and in all likelihood, it's probably the last interviews that Tom Petty ever gave too, because Tom
Yeah.
Petty is all
Yeah.
over that thing. Even though he didn't show up till probably 5 years after the whole thing was over, but he's still in it because I guess he lived in the valley.
Adjacent.
yeah,
adjacent.
he lived in the valley and, he
He's-
owed
he's
his
friend-
ass to the birds. you know?
Right, yeah, he's friends with George, friends with all the people, so makes sense. Jacob Dylan's nephew, Pablo Dylan.
Oh, thank God.
Here we
Okay.
go.
So this is Bob Dylan's grandson, and as hard as it was to find Gabe Day, finding evidence of, I started thinking I was losing my mind because I remember when this came out, like when he first emerged, he put out this SoundCloud album called 10 Minutes, and there was a story in Rolling Stone.
That's all you need.
And there was
All the shot you need.
there was a story about it in Rolling Stone that I read, and I was like, oh, this sounds fucking atrocious. But then when I was thinking about this topic, I was like, oh yeah, Bob Dylan's fucking grandson has a thing. And I looked it up, and there is nothing on YouTube. Like, I had to go deep, deep, deep to find just this little example of him rapping, because what exists now is him directly trying to do a Bob Dylan impression.
Yes. I've always said Bob Dylan should have done rap.
Well, that's the thing. He's now doing more Dylan-y sounding stuff.
Oh, boo.
So he's trying to bury his rap past.
No.
But he couldn't run from me.
You know?
That's right.
You can
That headline is insane.
Yeah, Rolling Stone. This is from July 22nd, 2011. Bob Dylan's grandson is a rapper.
That's the only information they need to set this article up.
Subheadline: 15-year-old Pablo says his grandfather was the quote Jay-Z of his time.
Yes.
I'm just going to read this straight from Rolling
He's
Stone.
not wrong.
This is from Rolling Stone. Pablo Dylan, the grandson of Bob, has entered the family business. In an interview with allhiphop.com, the 15-year-old opens up about his nascent career as a rapper
Finally opens up.
and his grandfather's legacy. Quote, my grandfather, I consider him the Jay-Z of his time, and he definitely has a legacy that a lot of people look up to. He feels...
Some,
and then he says, Bob... Back to our point about Jacob Dylan, and it would make my heart sing if Dylan actually felt this way. He says, he feels strongly about my music, and I love him to death, which only means one of two things. But
He
I
hates
love
it intensely, or he has never spoken to him.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but I like to think that Bob Dylan is just like, oh, the wildflowers, whatever, and then it's just like, I love you, grandson Pablo. You
have a gift, my boy.
Fucking killing it.
Please don't do this to me.
Yeah. No, there's no
I
chance.
would love if you didn't put out anything.
Stop, grandson, stop. Please stop your nascent rap career.
Please don't rap all
No,
over
do
my
it.
grave.
Do it like he loves his son, though. Do it like he loves his grandson's music.
Oh yeah.
Grandson's in the studio mixing up the rap tape. I'm on the pavement thinking about the rap tape also.
How many sons make the granddaddy proud? Turns out at least 15. How many songs will make me smile? A boy of only 15.
Very funny.
Though he's mostly
Thank you.
though he's mostly inspired by rappers such as Eminem, the young Dylan says his famous grandfather's music has had a strong impact on him too. Quote, "Of course we do two
His
different
words and shit.
yeah.
That's cool and shit.
Look, man, of course we do two different things, and I don't want people to see me for what he has done, but what I have done. I mean, from a musical and personal standpoint, definitely influenced by him.
Oh my God.
Everyone around me influences me.
Pablo, I'm so proud of you.
And I have learned so much from just listening to his records. But
That's all he's done. Is
bingo.
Just listen to
There's
them.
no chance
Yeah.
Bob has heard this guy, but I hope his music continues to live through what I do.
You know, I have the feeling that his music will be inextricably linked to your music forever.
So
That's kind of exactly what Jacob Dylan says, though. Every time somebody's like, "So your dad kind of invented, songwriting as we understand it," and he's just like, "Yeah, he influenced me for sure."
Yeah.
no, totally. Yes. My dad is definitely pretty good.
This
He's
is
okay. He's okay.
Yeah.
This is everything that remains of Pablo Dylan's rap career. You can find a lot of his
R.I.P.
Dylan-y stuff, which I'll play because it's bad. But
No.
this is his. This is the one rap song of his that you can still find. This is Pablo Dylan featuring OG Marco, and the song is called "Bright Lights."
It sounds like Chet stuff.
It sounds like everything.
It's kind of It's kind
It
of like
sounds completely indistinct.
This is definitely more like he's more influenced by Blonde on Blonde era. I'm thinking.
I don't know. This is more John Wesley Harding.
When Blood on the Tracks wasn't about your parents, this is what happened.
I just shot this video, we dipping fast.
Is that him? I'm sorry, this could be worse.
Yeah.
Cut up on the table, take the pic.
Again, it's just the name. It's like if you knew it wasn't Bob Dylan's lineage, you'd just be like, yeah, it's just another.
Yeah, I'd be like, this is Lil Peep.
Yeah, Lil Peep. Yeah, exactly.
He said, "You don't have to judge me. You know my past."
You know my grandpa.
But we don't. That's what all of these are founded on. Is these kids just being like, "Yeah, I've been here for a minute," and you're like, "No, you are new. You are
It's racist to judge.
It is racist. I am being racist to judge him because I know
Very
his dad." But yeah,
the KKK have meetings about how do we get these celebrities kids.
But I would argue his rap music is not nearly as bad as his like fake Bob Dylan music, which is what he does now. This is "Eye of the Storm."
Is that him?
That's him.
Holy mackerel.
He is.
In the dawn of day, I see the crack.
Whoa.
From her mighty legs,
Wait, you didn't hear it. Hold on. Dylan has never written a line this horny, I will say. There's a few
Are you sure?
There's some horny Dylan songs, nothing like this. Listen to what he says.
In the dawn of day, I see the crack. From her mighty legs as daylight breaks.
Okay, as the only woman in the room,
I'm looking out the window.
horrified for my safety.
I'm looking out the window through her vulva. That's what that means.
Land of no kings, a tyrant sings. Mud from a gust of the autumn spring.
This is an auditory nightmare.
Yeah,
This is my worst nightmare put into music. It's like the horny conversation about like cunnilingus in the morning.
Yeah. But
then
it's not even that. It's like seeing the dawn break through the legs or something. You're like,
is she dismembered?
Where are you on her?
I would like, as a woman, I need some clarity on this.
Excuse me, he's 23.
No, he looks like 80.
I know.
Yeah, he looks like Jesse Eisenberg and Jonah Hill. Like
Jesse Eisenberg ate Jonah Hill.
To the trees, unholy men commit wholesome deeds in the solemn seas.
Jesus. Some very accomplished studio musicians worked on this horse shit, and they were like, well,
well, he's paying us.
yeah.
You know who his grandpa is?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing some, yeah.
This sounds like a direct ripoff. This is brutal.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely I would say it's a rip-off of Dylan with a big smudge of Bright Eyes in there, who is also sort of a rip-off of Dylan,
Sure.
at least in his later shit. But yeah, so anyway, that's goddamn Pablo Dylan.
That was so meaningful to share with you guys.
Yeah. Jesus, that was you truly saved the
You
shit
really
for last.
delivered.
Yeah,
on
buddy.
Pablo Dylan.
You know,
I wasn't ready for that.
Pablo.
Yeah. Who knows?
Sweet Pablo.
Yeah. I don't know who I don't know who the hell his parents are. His mom is Dylan's daughter, I think.
Well, shout out to her.
Something
for
like that. Yeah.
creating it.
It's not I forgot who that. It's she's like a photographer.
Yeah, shout out to creating a feminist, which I believe Pablo would call himself.
I wake up in the cracks of your morning hole. And I'm a creepy man on ecstasy in your house. I love my daddy, he is nice, and I will sleep inside of you. Jesus Christ. I am 23 and I'm inside your house.
I'm 23 inside your house.
That's the scariest thing about this. He's in my home and he's 23.
23 in me reveals that I am a predator.
Oh, Jesus. Pablo.
You can hear me clanging around in the kitchen in the morning. I wait patiently in your closet and I watch you sleep. I'm 23 in me, I am a predator on ecstasy.
Cling, clang, cling, clang, cling, clang, cling. Oh, God.
You thought I was hiding in the walls, I was.
Man.
Which, well, we talked. I mean,
I'll tell you, great
actually,
generation.
You know what? I said this a moment ago, and the only thing that compares to how creepy that is something we talked about on the show during we did a Desert Island Duds episode, sort of in the spirit of the Desert Island Discs on BBC. That being like, what albums would you bring to a desert island? And our concept was like, what albums, if they were playing constantly on a desert island, would most inspire you to build a boat and get off of the island? And
oh, that's good. They're inspirational.
Yeah, well, and so Pat brought up the song "Empire State of Mind" by Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, and I was talking about the creepiest Dylan line of all time is on his 2006 album "Modern Times," where in the middle of the song, for no reason, he goes, "I've been thinking about Alicia Keys."
Oh no!
And he mentions her. It's just like a fun
Mr. Zimmerman,
dude. Yeah, it's like
2006 Dylan is bad.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a fun bluesy number, and then he does the first verse is like thunder on the mountain and then it's and then it starts over, and then just out of the gate, I've been thinking about Alicia Keys. And they interviewed him about it in Rolling Stone, and they're like, "Oh, you mentioned Alicia Keys in the song Thunder on the Mountain. What about that?" And his quote was, "Man, there's nothing about that girl I don't like." So
Lord.
It comes from a real place, Pablo Dylan.
Yeah, no, it's genetic.
Yeah, it's genetic horniness. Anyway, that's the goddamn show. Rosalie, where can people find you on the internet? And
all the social media, just the typical stuff at Ro Atkinson.
Yes, go follow Rosalie. Got good content on Instagram. Just
so
trust
funny.
me. Yeah.
The best. It's so good.
Top notch.
Solid
Top-notch quality
content.
So
content.
good.
Carter, where can people find you on the internet?
Dr. Clark on Instagram, Carter_Glasscock on Twitter.
Okay, and of course, the best way to support this show would be to go to patreon.com/thegoodspod. $5 a month. Join the Tower of Power. That gets you access to a bonus show every single week. It also gets you a shout out on this show from a celebrity, and in this case, let us welcome in here. It's a real honor to have him, Ray Liotta, everybody, just in time for Oscars. Shutout.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, so I'm, Laura Dern got the nom, ScarJo got the nom. Nothing for Ray Liotta on the damn Marriage Story there, and you did such a tremendous job on that. It's almost as good as your Chantix commercials.
Yeah, thanks for that. I feel like, it's a classic case of me having a emotional meltdown on set. That's probably word got around about that.
Oh, okay.
But see, back in those days, we weren't particularly fond of the internet. So I thought it was just a movie. I thought it was a play I was in.
Oh, back in those days, meaning last summer when you filmed the movie.
Sure, whatever you like to say. Yeah.
Okay. Who are our new patrons, Ray?
We got the ghost of Wayne Knight from Jurassic Park.
Wow, now that is special. That's real cool.
Back then, if you wanted to mess around with a dinosaur, he was going to spit into your face, and you were the one who got whacked.
Oh yes, yeah, he got whacked by getting some gack on his face, and that burned his eyes.
Yeah.
And then the dinosaur with the frill, the
and then
Dilophosaur.
Jerry Seinfeld killed him.
Yeah, well.
We got Blake Griffin.
Oh, shout out to my man Blake Griffin of Unix Photography down there in Atlanta.
Also a hilarious comedian and basketball player.
And a great basketball player. And thank you so much for getting traded off the Clippers so you're not at the Improv every fucking night taking up stage time.
Absolutely. We got Casey Harmon.
Yeah, shout out to Casey listening down there in Louisiana.
We got Sebastian Irizarny.
All right.
Zari? Pardon me. You got to understand, I've been trying to not think about smoking for the last 20 years.
Oh, yes, that is a problem.
We have Scott, just simply Scott.
Yeah, Scott, Prince, Cher, Scott.
You know, we got Zia Rivers.
That's right, yeah, and I don't know.
I believe that's just Rivers disguising his name and putting money back into his own pocket.
Yeah, that's...
If anyone had a problem with it, it came back to Rivers. Oh, you have a problem with the Patreon? Fuck you, pay me.
Fuck
oh,
you,
not
pay
enough
me.
content? Fuck you, pay me. And then what do? You light a match.
Oh, yes. And those are new patrons on patreon.com/thegoodspod. That is the best way to support this show. Second best way to support this show, head on over to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. And, you can literally a review if you just give us 5 stars and say, good show. That's great. That does wonders to boost us in the algorithm. Speaking of which, shout out to this. This is the weirdest shit ever. We cracked the top 200 podcasts, comedy podcast in Denmark and Sweden in the past week.
Wow, congratulations.
What the
Thank you.
Whoever's listening to us in Denmark and Sweden... Thank you.
I think it's the BAM stuff.
Yeah, is it? Do you think it's because we've been making fun of Bam Margera and he's like friends with like Turbo Negro and like all them fucking
him.
weird
Yeah. Could be.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. But anyway,
it's my theory.
Shout out to Scandinavia.
But what's up, Scandinavia?
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Give us some Patreon money and we'll come there. You know, if you can get us 3 plane tickets to Denmark, baby.
Love me some Scandinavian metal. Opeth is great.
Absolutely. Some other chumps say they're more ancient Greek than Dane, but fuck you. I'm Hamlet, baby. I'm there.
Yes.
That was a Hamlet joke, and that's all I know about Denmark. So something's rotten there. Anyway,
Lars von Trier. There you go.
Yeah. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley, and of course, find us on everything at The Goods Pod, Twitter, YouTube, all of that. And remember to always show the attitude of gratitude, because like Mr. Goodnight says, if you don't have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, fuck you. We'll see you next week.
The Goods from the Woods was mixed, edited, and distributed by me, Rivers Langley. You can find the show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by DJ Smiles. Check him out on Twitter at DJ Smiles.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.